tech, high touch. High tech, high touch. That's what we're talking about today. So this phrase I first read in John Nesbitt's, I'll probably don't know how to spell his last name, book 25 years ago. Wow, now I can't even remember the name of the book. But if you Google John Nesbitt, or Stacy or somebody does, you can pop the name of that book in there. One of the first books ever written that I read anyway on futurism, like a view into the future. And so I want to talk just briefly this morning about a concept that I studied in his book called high tech, high touch. And basically his idea was, hey, technology is coming at us like a runaway freight train, and this was 25 years ago or so. And he was predicting the future of technology and Moore's Law, how, technology was going to double every year, compound every year, which, that's like the penny a day becomes $5 million. Only now we're talking about processing speeds and, this is an iPad, which is basically like an iPhone, right? But these things have more computing power than, what they looked like 25 years ago was that refrigerator right there. Now the same thing is in your iPhone, right? So it's crazy, the technology. And one of the things that I've often wondered about is I have a guy on my team who is a full-time networking administrator. So his name is Brian Harder, and he's probably trying to get on my computer right now because I'm trying to fix something. But Brian works pretty much 7 days a week, or at least he's on call 7 days a week. And what he does is keep all of our systems running, right? All of our computers, all of our wireless, all of our everything. I mean, if it's got a connection or it processes something, Brian takes care of it. And I'm constantly thinking about how often I ask Brian, hey, Brian, can you fix this? Hey, can you get this connected? Hey, can you get my printer online? Because it seems like whenever I leave a house and come back to a house, the printer doesn't work. I mean, it works, but it's not connected to my computer. And I go on printer settings and I select the computer and I want to print something and it won't print. And Brian has to go in and do something. I don't know what he does, but somehow he gets my printer to work. So, of course, I come here to the ranch, printer doesn't work. Same computer, same printer that was working 6 months ago, but so Brian's got to do that. And then I got the wild idea that I was going to upgrade my routers here at the ranch. And so I'm putting in mesh routers, right? And they broadcast 2G and 5G, but they kind of determine what the thing needs and they automatically do it and blah, blah, blah. It's like this new technology. So Brian and I upgraded all the routers. Now, right now, my sprinkler system won't work and my security system won't work because they'll only log on to an old school router that broadcasts specific 5G or 2G, messages or whatever it is, right? Broadcast, right? So now I either got to take out all the new, anyway, you get the point, right? So it's crazy how much technology we have in our lives. And it's just going to double every year. It's been doubling every year. We have more technology in our lives in the last 5 years than the last 500 combined. And it's going to get worse. And, we have this paranoia about, how come, Bob and I were talking about, buying a new hammock yesterday and all of a sudden hammocks show up on our news feed everywhere. Well, it's because somewhere you probably didn't check a box somewhere in some obscure thing that you and me subscribed to that said, hey, allow Apple or allow Siri or allow Alexa to gather your data for research and development, right? And there's a little fine print somewhere in there, I'm sure, that says, we can use this for advertising if we want to. So, hey, if I can say, hey, Alexa, and all of a sudden this machine is talking to me, or hey, Siri, well, I kind of got to think, it knows what's going on. Of course, every time you punch something in Google, it logs all of that unless you clear your search history, and then your passwords don't work. And the last thing I'll talk about is passwords. So I have this program called LastPass, which gathers all my passwords, and then so when I log onto a website, all I have to do is have LastPass fill in the password, so I don't have to remember it, because good thing I have like 200 or 300 websites with passwords. Of course, I do the dumb thing. I use the same password for all of them, so I don't have to remember different passwords. So all a hacker has to do is figure out that password, and they're into everything I own. And, there's safeguards for that. But here's my point. We all get how much technology there is, but maybe what we could pay attention to is what John Nesbitt talked about, which was the more technology you have in your life, the more touch you need in your life. He called it high tech, high touch. You need to balance it. So the more you're deep into, social media and having the latest technology and the latest iPhone, which you can get tomorrow, right? The more we need to walk and smell the roses, right? The more we need to get outside without our phone. The more we need to swim and hike and meditate and make love, right? Hey, Kimmy, you're a long ways away. The more we need to touch and feel our bare feet in the ground and ground ourselves in the spirituality of our world, which doesn't have anything to do with technology, which is the complete polar opposite of technology. And we're not going to get away from technology. It's just going to keep compounding. And, pretty soon we're going to wake up in the morning and whatever we think we want for breakfast is going to be already cooking in the kitchen. And 2 days later, groceries are going to show up on the front door to replace the groceries we took out of the refrigerator, because there's some cameras in your refrigerator that looks at what you took out and didn't put back. All that's happening and 100 times more, which just begs that we need to get outside more. We need to get outside barefoot more. We need to see the sun and the clouds and the wind and the rain and the flowers and the ocean. And we need to see each other without our iPhones in hand. High tech, high touch. And it's a good thing I have Brian, or I wouldn't even know how to do high tech. And that's my message of the day. I'll see you tomorrow.